Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, actually-ish. 12 o'clock, I guess it's technically afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody inside a conservation station. If you would like to come on over, we do have a live animal over here. I just ask if you're in the front, you do have a seat, so the little ones can definitely see. Otherwise, we've got a planter that you guys can sit on over here. We're going to talk about a little bit, and then once we're done talking about him, you are going to get a chance to touch him. There he goes, he just knows it's better. Alright, well, my name is Elizabeth. I'm actually one of the animal keepers. Her work is over here at Rafikis, Planet Watch. And my job is to take care of all the mammals you guys have seen since you've gotten off the train. So that includes all these great animals out in the affection section. If you have not seen them yet, it's the only place in the park where you can actually get in with the animals and touch them. So I do highly suggest you go out there. We also took care of those little monkeys on the pathway, which may have been in their nice warm nest boxes if you didn't get to see them, where they all cuddled up. You didn't get to see them, right? And then we actually have a collection in the back that we bring out just for shows. So this species you can't find anywhere else in the park unless you do happen upon one of his shows. And most people have no idea what this animal is. Does anybody know what this animal is? Capybara is an excellent guess. Kind of looks like a baby capybara, right? And it's related, but it's not a capybara. A chipmunk, it's also related to the chipmunks, but it's not a chipmunk. No? A marmoset? Not a marmoset. Sorry. Anybody else? No? Well, we heard chipmunk and we heard capybara. Does anybody know what family that is? If you look at him, you can probably definitely tell. What family he's in? The big old family, 40% of them. Rodent, very good job. It is in the rodent family. Now the name of this particular rodent is called an agouti. Anybody ever heard of agoutis? Nope, actually I haven't heard of them until I started working with them, but they're really, really cool animals. This is a full-grown animal. He is actually about 11 years old. They are found down in the rainforest in Central and South America. They're pretty important to the rainforest because of their eating habits. Now he is an herbivore, so he's going to eat a lot of vegetation. He's going to eat a lot of flowers, he's going to eat a lot of fruits, vegetation, and also lots and lots of seeds and nuts. And most of the stuff that he eats grows really high in the trees in the rainforest. He has a little bit of a problem. He lives on the ground. He cannot climb trees. So how's he going to get his food if he's down here and all food is way up here in the trees? You're waiting for it to fall, right? And he's going to definitely have some help to speed up that falling process. If you ever watch a parrot or a monkey eat, they're what we call drop feeders. They drop a lot of their food. So all that food is falling to the ground, making this huge, gigantic mess all over the floor. He's going to go around and clean that up. He's also going to eat a lot of the fruit that they've dropped. Well, most of the fruit they dropped still has seeds in it. So as he's eating this fruit, the seeds are going through his body. They're not getting digested. They're coming out as nice little fertilized packages. He's going to help replant the rainforest that way. He's also going to literally plant some nuts out there, including the Brazil nut. Anybody here ever eaten a Brazil nut? Pretty tough, right? You can't crack into them. Well, Brazil nuts actually come in a pod. That pod looks like a coconut shell, probably about 4 times thicker than a coconut shell. So when it hits the ground, it doesn't break open. So it needs an animal to be able to chew through that pod. Not very many animals can do that. We said before he was a rodent. Anybody know what makes a rodent a rodent? Big teeth. Their teeth. I don't know who said that. Did you say that? Very good job. Their teeth. Their teeth continuously grow their entire life. So they have these really, really strong teeth. They can break into that Brazil nut pod with no problem. Now once they get it, once they get in, there's about 6 or 7 nuts inside, and he is going to be able to eat those, but not all of them at once, because it's like us finding 6 or 7 giant-sized candy bars. We're going to want to eat them all, just maybe not all at once, because their stomach's going to get upset. So he's going to go bury them. Once he decides he's hungry, he's ready to eat them, look at his nose. He has an excellent sense of smell, so he's going to be able to sniff those out and eat them. But guess what? He's not always going to find those Brazil nuts he buried. So what's going to happen to those Brazil nuts he's buried and never finds? What do you think, buddy? They are going to become trees. We're going to give one right now. Sometimes he'll just hold it and think about it. Sometimes he'll try to bury it. Sometimes he'll eat it. So if he does break into it, you are going to be able to see that power of his teeth and how he can break into that without any problem. A lot of times he just kind of holds it to himself. Alright, so he's literally responsible for replanting the Brazil nut tree out there in the rainforest. Now this guy, like I said, lives on the ground, so he has a lot of predators out in the wild, like ocelots and jaguars, big cats. He's not going to sit there and try to fight off a big cat. So instead, what do you think he's going to do? Look at these big old back feet for a hint. Run. Very good job. And he's going to give himself a little extra head start by jumping. He has feet like a kangaroo. He can jump like a kangaroo. He can jump 12 feet out, 6 feet up. They are amazing jumpers. Now as they're jumping through the air, they're actually twisting their body. They're turning it so that predator has no idea what direction they're going. Can't grab them out of the sky. Once they hit the ground, they are going to take off running. We've actually named this little guy Turbo after his ability to run. Very, very fast runners. But if the animal comes up, maybe scares him a little bit, he can take this hair back here, hold it right on end. You see how long that hair is? So if that animal thinks he's that big, they may just get a nip of him, just get that hair, miss his actual skin, and the hair will easily fall off. He can take off running. Now in just a second, you're going to get a chance to touch him. When you touch him, you're going to notice he's extremely oily. Why do you think that would help an animal in the rainforest to be very, very oily? Remember, it's the rainforest. And take a guess? Very good job. It's like a natural raincoat. We all know that water and oil don't mix, so when that water hits the oil, it just beads up and it falls right off. Not yet, okay, princess? And it falls right off of him so he doesn't stay wet. He has very, very thick skin underneath that hair, so when he runs through the rainforest, he doesn't get scratched up. All right, now we're very lucky. The agouti is not an endangered animal, but unfortunately his habitat is disappearing extremely quickly. So what can we do to help this animal's habitat out? You guys can do it every day. What do you think? Plant new trees, absolutely. You can plant trees in your backyard, or you can donate to the rainforest, and they're going to plant trees for you. What else? Recycle, that's a good one too. You guys recycle 1 3-foot stack of newspaper. That is 1 tree. It is a tree that he may depend on.
Alright? My name is Stephanie, and I am an animal keeper who lives, or who works here, practically lives here, at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And so my job is to take care of all the fuzzy animals that you guys have seen since you've gotten off the train. Now I get to take care of a wide variety of animals. I get to work with the cotton-top tamarins. Did you guys see those little monkeys? Yes, I get to take care of those guys.
Wait for the train?
Yes, I also get to help take care of all the barnyard animals over there in affection section. And if you haven't been to affection section yet, definitely make your way over there because it is a great place to be at. But I also get to work with a small group of animals that live behind the scenes. Behind this building is another building where we keep a lot of our other animals. Now this particular animal is one that you can't find anywhere else in the park. Does anybody know what it is? Hedgehog is a great guess, but not a hedgehog. Another guess? Any others? No? It's a pretty tough one. It's called a Greater Madagascar Hedgehog Tenrec. I'm going to walk back here so these guys can see right back here. Greater Madagascar Hedgehog Tenrec. The really cool thing about tenrecs are that they're only found on one place, and that is on the island of Madagascar. See her right there? Now on Madagascar, there are about 30 different species, 30 different types of tenrecs, and not all of them have spines. She's called a greater tenrec because she's a little bit larger than some of the other tenrecs who are found on Madagascar. Now there are many different types there, like I mentioned. This particular tenrec likes to live in the ground, so they burrow and dig underground. There are some species of tenrec who live in the treetops, who are going to spend the majority of their time in the trees. And there's even a tenrec who spends most of its time in the water. It's an aquatic tenrec who has webbed feet and flat tails for swimming. So these guys live in so many different places on Madagascar. Now, the reason why they're so different from each other is because they are the only insectivores who live there. So they have a pretty big job of controlling that insect population on Madagascar. So as a way to avoid competing with other tenrecs, they actually live in many different parts. Like I mentioned, that's why they're so different, because they want to avoid competing for each other. All right, so you know a little bit about where she lives. Let's talk a little bit about what she eats. What do tenrecs eat? Any ideas? They're bug eaters. Yeah, they're in the insectivore family, and so they are bug eaters. The majority going to eat insects and bugs, and she's pretty good at finding those. Now she has some great senses to help her out. She is nocturnal, but she doesn't have very good eyesight. Do you see her eyes are pretty small? Yeah, it doesn't have very good eyesight at all. So she's going to have to use her other senses, like those whiskers or those ears or even that nose to help tell her where those insects are. All right, one more thing. Let's talk about how she defends herself. What do you think she does? Rolls up, exactly right. She rolls into a ball when she's scared, and she's kind of giving you a little demonstration. She's not scared. She's just sniffing her belly right now, but she's going to show you exactly how she does that. On her body, she has about 5,000 spines, and those spines are going to help protect her. So when she does get scared, she will roll up, she'll kind of make herself look a little bigger. She'll hiss and she'll huff, and then she'll kind of shake her spines too, and that way those animals will definitely leave her alone. If they come near her, she's pretty much just going to get a mouthful of spines and they're going to leave her alone. So her defense works pretty well for her on Madagascar. Now they're not very closely related to hedgehogs, even though hedgehogs do the same thing. They're more related to animals like moles and shrews. They are still in the insectivore family like hedgehogs are, but they kind of developed independently. They're not related to hedgehogs all that closely. Alright, I'm going to put her back here and give her a little bit of a break. At this point, if you guys would like to come on up and take a closer look at her, you are more than welcome to. You can also ask me any questions about animals, whether it's T-Rex here or other animals that you've seen throughout the park. I will do my best to try to answer any questions for you. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Come on up, everybody. Come take a closer look at her. She's called a greater Madagascar hedgehog tenrec. Big long name to basically say she's called a tenrec. That's the common name.
Here, Hannah. Come over here, you can see.
Her name is Bianca. She is full grown. She's about 6 years old, so she won't grow any larger than she is right now, even though some species of tenrecs can be much larger. Definitely not soft. She has about 5,000 spines that cover her body. So many animals are similar to hedgehogs. They do roll up into a wall to defend themselves just like hedgehogs do. They also eat insects like hedgehogs do as well. But the main difference between a hedgehog and a tenrec is that not all tenrecs have spines on them like hedgehogs do. So these guys, out of the 25 different species, 30 different species of tenrecs, only 5 of them have spines on their back. So the rest of them have soft fur. So which makes them quite different.
You like this, huh? No tapping.
She's called a tenrec.